coming down.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to the UkSimracers MX5 Season 1 of 2023, Round 10 from Donington Park. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by Mr. Zach Sweeney once more this evening, who has come along for the ride. Good evening, Phil. Hope you are well. And we are here at the National Circuit at Donington. 3.16 kilometres, works at about 1.6 miles of racetrack, and with only 10 corners on circuit at the moment, should it pay challenging to these wonderful MX5 drivers? Well, I can tell you now that rundown from Redgate through Craner Curves into the old hairpin will challenge the most capable drivers as well, and these guys are going to be no different this evening. But let's bring Mr. Zach Sweeney into the booth. Good evening, Zach. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, and like I said last week, I'm really looking forward to a bit of Donny Park because it is such a good circuit, one of my favourites, not only just in the UK but around the world, and hearing some MX5s I think is a perfect combination.
Yeah, I think it will be as well. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible here this evening, and one that we can all sit back and enjoy as well. We're going to go into 4 15-minute heats, of course, with a reverse grid, and it is Daniel Hunt sitting on top of the standings currently at the moment on 1,187. John Sylvester sitting in second on 1,172. Tom Griffiths in third, Jamie Ayres fourth, Pete Van Gool fifth, Yvonne Bramer sixth, Miles Owens is in seventh, Steve Hefford eighth, Ralph Cullen ninth, Carl Jacklett 10th, Charles Kellerman 11th, Elise Main 12th, Martin Sampson 13th, and at the bottom is Darren McLean. Now in the AM Championship, hopefully, bear with, there has been some wonderful little issues with the timing software here this evening. As you can see, is, well, it's not behaving, shall we say. It's not behaving. So moving swiftly on there, Mr. Sweeney, as this decides that it doesn't want to work properly. 4 15-minute heats, 10 corners, can't be that hard, right?
Yeah, it really isn't that difficult whatsoever. No, absolutely not. It is going to be a bloodbath, 100%. I mean, Donington Park is, you know, it's so fast, it's so twisty, and it's an old school circuit. It's an old school club circuit, similar to Alton, Brands, Cadwell, the likes of those types of circuits. It's track, grass, gravel, barrier, in usually that order as well. So you really do have to be careful. Any small mistake is going to be punished, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be any shortage of overtaking. We are going to have plenty of it, plenty of battling throughout. It's just a case of do not step over the mark or you will find yourself well and truly out of contention. But yeah, we are on the shorter rendition of the circuit, so instead of going left at the back end of the back straight through the Fogarty S's into Melbourne into Goddard's, we go just a right left through Roberts. That's the lap done, so you're only essentially cutting out a few corners. But yeah, 10 corners, it's one of the shorter end sort of additions to the calendar. I think the only time we've been shorter was either Knock Hill or the Rebel Ring. I think Knock Hill and then the Rebel Ring are the other two shorter circuits. This is obviously one of them as well. So yeah, it's shorter, which means that the laps are going to tick by short and sweet, but I think we're still in for 4 very good races as we've come to expect. Yeah, absolutely as well. Welcome in Ewan Bramer, up for some great racing again. Yep, it definitely is there. Welcome to my local circuit, says Phil. So obviously Phil lives close to Donny. So there we go, and one that I think is going to provide some epic action here this evening as well, and one that I'm definitely looking forward to here. Team championships currently are up for conversation. As we know, we normally have a chat about the team championships every single week, and with the software not behaving itself, I probably not want to try and bring them up.
But currently it is Team Momo on top with 3,830 and Platinum Racing on 3,771. Getting tight, and we've only got 2 rounds to go after this one.
It is scary how quick the season has gone. It's been closing in on 3 months now, which is just bizarre to think. 12 weeks, it's just weird. I don't know. It has shot fly in a flash, but also I think back to the Red Bull Ring and think, Jesus, that was a long time ago. But yeah, I think it's been fantastic each Tuesday. Gotten used to it. It's my weekly schedule now. Tuesday night, some MX5s as Jamie Ayres. Whoa, that's impressive. Love that through the final corner. But yeah, in terms of the team standings, it has just been the back and forth between Momo and Platinum. At some point, Momo did actually open the gap up to about 150 odd points, and Platinum since have really been combating to close that down to now 59 points. In terms of the overall points still remaining in this season, there is still 164 for or 692 I should say per week for each team, so comes out by 2, about 1300-ish 1400-ish points remaining, so plenty of points on offer and still plenty of opportunity for Platinum to top the veterans.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they do manage it as well as we're going in to this one, and obviously the last 2 racetracks, Silverstone National and Barcelona National. I think it's going to be one that's really going to play here as well. They've got to stay away from each other. I know that sounds really ironic when we say anything like that, but they seem to be having problems when they come close together, does the teammates. You know, we've seen quite a few incidents this season of where they've taken each other out. There was the same last week at race 1 in the Nürburgring. Yeah, that's one side of it. I think if anybody has sat back and watched, is a side that these guys really need to kind of correct, I think, because it is a big issue when you take your teammate out who is running in the top 5.
You say it as if it's something that's not common knowledge. It's almost as if it's one of the golden rules of racing of, hang on mate, let's not spack into your teammate. And we've seen it with both the Momo and the Platinum boys. It's not really been a heavy swing of one versus a minority of the other. It has been, in all fairness, quite even actually in terms of team takeouts. We see it surprisingly quite often between Steve Pfefford and Pete Van Gool, which is unfortunate. We saw it last time out of the Nürburgring. We also saw it a couple of weeks ago at Knock Hill. And then the Platinum boys, obviously, with Miles Owens and Ewan Bramer, they both tangled at Sandown. There's been plenty of examples of it, and it just goes to show that had either respective team had a perfect run of points, we might be looking at a very different situation in terms of the championship. But obviously it's motor racing, nothing ever goes perfect. You've got to play with the hand you've been dealt with. The situation they have got is just shy of a 60-point deficit from Momo to Platinum between P1 and P2. So yeah, still a lot to play for. It's just a case of looking back in hindsight, Platinum are going to be saying, hang on boys, we probably could already be leading the championship.
Yeah, definitely there as well. I think if they managed to keep each other from knocking into each other, I think it would have been a lot closer than probably what it is. As you say, it might have even been a reversed position here in the last 53 seconds of practice currently. Hey boys, says Miles Owens. Welcome in, Miles. Hope you're well there, bud. Hope everything is going fine for you. And you're getting into the swing of things, sitting in 8th at the moment on a 1:17.556. Top guys on a 1:16.7 there, Miles. You've got about 9 tenths to make up there, sir. So don't sit in YouTube chat. Get out practicing. Martin Sampson has returned this week, and so is Darren McLean. So both of these guys are back on track as well. Martin Sampson from the Optical Red here this evening. Charles Kellerman is there from the Optical Green. Andy Littler from Work Guard. Pete Van Gool, of course, is on track as well. Yeah, it was a difficult time for Pete, and it has been, I think, over the last few weeks, to be fair.
I agree, 100% I agree. I mean, he's really been up and down. He obviously took the 2 wins at race 1 at the Red Bull Ring, and again has had little spurges of pace, like a win at Belle Isle, a win at Sandown. Went on actually a 3-week streak of winning at least one race from Belle Isle all the way to Knock Hill. Then stopped a bit, then turned back on again when we went to Le Mans. Then, of course, actually got a win at the Nürburgring. So Pete Van Gool has got the pace. He has shown that almost week in, week out with how many podiums he's got, the top 5s that he's got, all the points that he scored. He is still sat P5 in the championship. But there have been them incidents where we've seen either him make a mistake, him get caught up in traffic, not necessarily be on the pace entirely, making collisions with his teammates. For example, Pete Van Gaal, such a quick driver, and it's all there. He's got everything he needs. It's just making sure he can whisk it all together very nicely and deliver on a very, very good weekend. But that being said, again, he's not a million miles off in the championship. He's just over 130-ish points of Daniel Hunt for the lead, which just goes to show how insanely close from P1 to P5 it really is. But yeah, PVG, I mean, he's got more wins than John Sylvester and Tom Griffiths, who are second and third in the championship. Pete Van Gaal, as I say, he's there. He just needs to switch on and deliver.
I think that's the scariest thing as well for Pete, is he could have been a lot further up, which is really bizarre when we say it in the manner that it has been said, but he has struggled. So PVG, his numbers aren't bad if we look at it. He's got 5 wins, 11 podiums, 27 top 10s, 34 top 20s, and an average of 29.3 points per round with a finish position of 6.3. But it's the ones where he's made the mistakes that's cost him the most, and I think that's the thing here as well. He's got to try and not let it cost him as much, because when it does, it's an epic loss. It's not just finishing sometimes down in 10th or 9th or 8th. It's like terminated. Do you know what I mean? And I think he just needs to be able to control that inconsistency, I think, and he'll be a lot further up.
100%. That's the thing, is that it's consistency. Like we've seen with John Sylvester and Tom Griffiths, in the sense that they have got a win less each than Pete Van Gaal. But what they have got is 3 more podiums. They've got 6 more top 10s and 4 more top 20s. Overall, their average points haul is about 3 points per race relative to Pete Van Gaal. So the statistics say that, well, yes, Sylvester and Griffiths have had less wins and this, that and the other. They've delivered on a more consistent basis. They've been up there in P3 and P4, P5, getting those points. Meanwhile, when Pete Van Gaal hasn't won a race or got on the podium, he's down in P7, P8 sort of range. Which, again, I'm not trying to knock him, because you can only speak praises about him. It's more a concern, is what we're trying to get at here, because we know how good Pete Van Gaal is. And that, to be fair, is a similar story for many another driver, like the likes of Miles Owen, Steve Hefford, Ewan Bramer. All of them have got the potential, the raw potential to succeed. It's just, unlike Daniel Hunt, unlike Sylvester, unlike Griffiths, even, in all fairness, unlike Ayres, they haven't got the complete package week in, week out. It's more they've got 2 or 3 of the components of the complete package, or 3 out of the 4, or they've got a mix and match, and unfortunately that's not enough to compete in a championship, particularly one as competitive as this.
Daniel Hunt, that's it. That lap that he was sitting there with the purples has just gone out the window in one corner. Steve Hefford now on that run down into turn 9 and 10. Should be an interesting one here. I'll be very impressed to see how these guys deal with this circuit as well. Fast flowing nature of Craner Curves, Old Hairpin Starkies, and up through McLean's. There's 17 cars on track this evening. Redgate's turn 1. It's going to be tough for these drivers. They've only got to run wide a little bit in Redgate, and that grass will run them all the way down the hill, because of the fact that it's just such a difficult corner. They've come through the first part here. You're going to go round there too wide on that outside line. That grass line is just going to run you all the way down the hill. It's such a tricky circuit, this one. And I think if somebody can complete all 4 in a fairly consistent manner and be positioned within the top 5, I think they're going to be up for an absolute winner. I'd say go and do the lottery the following day, because they will need to, get some luck. Don't need any luck, clearly, if they're managing to finish in all 4 races.
100%. It's such a challenge of a circuit, particularly as you say, that sort of that first sector through the Craner Curves, where the car's going light, the car's going fast, you're working with gravity, so you're almost going quicker and you've got less grip to work with. Then through the Old Hairpin, you're trying to wrestle the car through the left-hander, but still bring it to the left and sweep it into the right, up the hill through McLean's, and then obviously into Coppice. 2 very difficult corners in their own right. Then obviously the final corner where it is just all about commitment. Yes, it's a chicane, but it's not your typical chicane. It's off the back of a very fast straight, and you've got to carry so much speed through it. Otherwise, you risk not being able to have that momentum through the pit straight. So it's all about flow, it's all about rhythm, it's all about consistency, and it's all about managing the car within its limits while trying to get as close to said limit as possible. But also, as to what Miles Owens was saying in YouTube chat regarding the slipstream, I'm assuming from what he meant by in tow is the sense that he's 8/10 off because the other people around him had a slipstream, which I don't really know what to think to that. Yes, it's only 10 corners long, but maybe the slipstream is actually quite prevalent around here.
Yeah, I know going down, obviously down into the turn one, it's can be used quite a lot. Mick Barry's going to use it now on a 1:16.917. You know, I think at the end of the day, there's a lot involved here, but I can't really see the slipstream being a massive gain going maybe from the run out of Coppice down into the chicane, and then once you're through the chicane, like it's almost like a double DRS zone, I suppose, from 8 down through to 10, and then from 10 through to 1, maybe. But would it benefit you driving this close through the likes of Starkey's, Coppice, McLean's? I don't know. We're gonna have to see how that one goes, to be honest. So going to be an interesting one, I think, as Tom Griffiths is coming on top on a 1:16.917. What driver in a Formula 3000 car went into the crowd near where the exhibition centre, injuring several spectators in his early career? Alan McNish, apparently.
I did not know that.
No, I didn't know that either, to be honest. It's not a question that generally people would ask us, to be fair.
It's more like, oh, how many points do they score for a win? Or what's the strategy going to be like? Or how are you doing? Not, oh yeah, do you know that person, that random person at Formula 3000 car probably 20 years ago that smacked into a barrier? Honestly, it probably happened before I was born. But yeah, I don't know. I never knew that. But the more you know. Cheers, Phil, for letting us know. I do know that Donington Park has hosted many a good race and is a fantastic circuit, and I'm sure we're hopefully not going to see anyone here flying into any barriers over the course of the 4 50-minute races. But then again, with the shenanigans that these guys have gotten up to over the course of the season, are we really going to be surprised if we see it?
No. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, because there's been some close battling all the way through, you know, and I think the AM battle is looking even closer as well. I really want to bring you up the AM scores, but I'm just not reliant on this wonderful software working, so I will end up reading it out to you here instead. Currently in the AMs, Darrell Wright, who we've seen had some spectacular races, is winning, is in the lead from Arnold Chagnonier. Now the difference between these guys is only 55 points, so it's only 55 points. Now in the Pro Championship, there's only 15 points between Daniel Hunt and John Sylvester. So this season's champion is still up for grabs here, Zach. I don't think either championship is done entirely, with the fact that we've still got, what, 12 races to go, technically, in hindsight?
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy to think that despite that we've only got, 2 weeks left now of the season, we still have 12 races to go. It's a very different format, and it does mean that we have got plenty of points on offer, but, you know, it's 12 out of the 48 that will be making up the total. That is sideways there from one of the Platinum cars. Wow, okay. That's going to ruin not only this lap, but also the lap after, so whoever said culprit was will have to go around and do it all over again. But, yeah, in terms of the championship standings, they've still got quite a while to sort of get things done. And you know they've still got the 12 races to do so and actually gain those points. But also, I mean, in retrospect to the rest of the season, they actually have got quite a bit of time constraint. You know, they've already done the best part of 3/4 of the season, and now it's in essence the final stretch. So, despite the fact they have got 12 races, the pressure really is on, particularly when it is this close. Because when the fighting is this close, it's always just pressure, and that's the pressure that has been felt for all of the season up until now.
Yeah, it is as well. Was there when it happened near that spot, says Phil. Well, good job you wasn't involved in that one as well. Aaron Hobson, a slow-mo is on here. Not nice to see. What do you mean by that, sir? Or am I a little bit lost in that one? I'm not entirely sure what that meant. Jamie Ayres is in first on a 1:16.738. Tom Griffiths on a 1:16.845. Hunt on a 1:16.866. Pete Van Gogh sitting in fourth place. Mick Barry has got, hopefully going to get a time on the board this time round, as he is currently heading down into the chicane. So hopefully Mick Barry will be able to get a time. Mick, who recently got married this weekend as well. Him and obviously his wife have just got married, literally this weekend, I believe it was. And it was visited by our very own Sir Alan Toon. Alan Toon went to his wedding. So congratulations to Mick Barry there for getting married. There we go. Tom Griffiths in second, purple on the board. And a yellow in sector 2. Right, Zach, it's that time of the evening. Who's going to win?
Well, we've still got 3 minutes left to qualifying, so I don't know, maybe I want to wait and see who's on pole position, see what the order is like, but just off a gut feeling, the instinct is there. I'm going to go with Martin Sampson. No, I'm not. I'm going to go with... I'm just having a look, but I'm thinking Jamie Ayres could win, Griffiths could win, Hunt could win, Van Gogh could win, Hereford could win, Sylvester could win. Anyone realistically inside the top 8 already could win. I'm just trying to think, and I know I'm delaying this for as long as possible because I am.
Yeah, you're trying to get it to the end of quali. I understand that, you know, when you want to. Go on.
I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to stretch for 3 minutes though. I think that is a little bit difficult. I'm going to look. I'm going to point. I'm going to go at random. I'm going to go with Daniel Hunt purely because I see what he can do in a race, and even if he doesn't qualify in pole position, I can trust him to pick his way through.
Okay. I am going to go with one Mr. PVG. I think it is time. And it's deserving that he will go and win the opening race. Let us know in chat who you feel is going to win. Names are on the left-hand side. Don't forget we have got race 1, race 2, race 3 and race 4. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to pick all 4 races winners. That's fine. Just do race 1 for a minute as well. I have my tweezers red to remove the splinters. That's from Zach sitting on the fence.
Yeah, it did take me a second, but once it clicked, I did find that quite funny. Yeah, fair play, Phil.
Well, you know, I heard you and Phil had some interesting conversations on Saturday as well.
Did we?
I believe. Was it? Good evening, Mr. David Ayres. Hope you're well. I did hear that, didn't you and Phil have a little bit of banter backwards and forwards on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, we always do. We always love it. I do remember having a bit of banter with one of the drivers as well. I was making sure he knew full well that we were catching every single incident of it. So I think Phil was jumping on the bandwagon alongside and making sure is all... There we go, there's sideways. There's all the way around from McLean, who quite clearly has a couple of cobwebs to dust off. There we go, that's the wording. But he clearly is a little bit rusty, but I mean, he's not doing too bad. He's ahead of Ralph Cullinan, who's put in some good results so far this season.
Oh, it wasn't Saturday, it was Monday. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I was thinking actually, hang on, it wasn't Monday, it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was Monday, wasn't it? You two had a little bit. It was with Dan, yes. I did hear about it as well, but I also heard that you and Zach yesterday as well. So I enjoyed my night off, which involved me falling asleep at 9:30. Mind you.
Don't often get to do it, mate.
No, and then the alarm went off at 4 AM this morning, mate, for a broadcast at 5. So, you know, hey, I took the opportunity while I still could. Anyway.
Enjoy it while you can, mate. It's the little things. It's the small moments that
yes,
make you think.
I'm going to enjoy next week as well with a holiday.
Oh, you do? You're off to good old Spain.
Yep.
To have your phone locked in a safe by your wife.
Yeah, all right. No need. Here is the grid for race 1. Jamie Ayres in first, Tom Griffiths second, Dan Hunt third, Pete Van Gaal fourth, Steve Evans fifth, John Sylvester sixth, Ewan Bramer seventh, Miles Owens in eighth, and it's Arnold Chagnon in the AMS taking over the first place from Darrell Wright down in 10th. Charles Kellerman 11th. Darren McLean is down in 12th place. Then beyond that, Ralph Cullinan, Mick Barry, Jordan Sire, Andy Littler, Sir Alan Toon and Martin Sampson at the back of the field. I am, yes, going to enjoy some time off in sunny España next week as well. I am leaving you in the capable hands of one Mr. Dan Peoples, who will be filling in for me there as well. Phil has said, Hunt for the win. That's not a bad shout, but I still think it's PVG. Got to be honest. So we're just...
Well, we'll find out in 50 minutes' time, won't we? We'll see who comes out on top.
Yes, we will. Just waiting for Charles Kellerman, Darren McLean and Mick Barry to get on to the grid. Let's see. Come on, boys. Mind you, have got 40 seconds to go, so, you know, take your time, get a drink, chill out, sit back. And, right, here we go. The lights are going to be coming on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's lights out and away we go. Tom Griffiths got an absolute flying start and then he kind of went nowhere, which was a little bit bizarre. His first phase of the start, he got off the line really well, and then the second phase, he didn't actually go anywhere. Daniel Hunt's going to try and go around the outside in turn 1 here as well. This could be nasty. Jamie Ayres has gone round. Ayres has gone round from the front of the field. Griffiths is now in front with Daniel Hunt. Pete Van Gaal sitting back in third, and Ayres is all the way down in 18th place as they go on that run down into the old hairpin here for the first time, Zach. And Jamie Ayres at the back of the field.
Huge mistake through Redgate. Obviously, the car's weight is being shifted. Here goes, though, Daniel Hunt versus Tom Griffiths. Hunt with the perfect start up 2 places as they run their way through McLean's or into McLean's and then up the hill in towards Coppice. The top 4, Hunt, Griffiths, Van Gaal, Hefford, separated by absolutely nothing. But yeah, Jamie Ayres, cold tyres, too much speed, too much pressure from pole position. And unfortunately, just the rear end stuck out, spun him round, and right at the start of the race, he finds himself 4 seconds back off the nearest car, which is devastating for him, considering he's got some ground to make up in that championship.
Yeah, it definitely has, but now it's Hunt, Griffiths, Van Gaal and Hefford all going down into the chicane for the first time here this evening. And it's seeing how this one works out. PVG sitting in third place currently at the moment. Hunt in the lead, Griffiths there as well. Then further back we've got Sylvester, Bramer and Miles Owens. The three PRT boys are trying to set chase over the 2 Momos up in front as well. They've got to try and work together to be able to move themselves forward. Sylvester is trying to push him along, but Hefford's gap is just opening up a little bit more, and he's just about to go past Pete Van Gaal, and he has done currently as well. And PVG's down into the down into 4th place, and Jamie Ayres is in the pits as well. If it's going to go wrong, you know, you might as well have it wrong in race 1 right at the beginning.
I suppose, yeah, it does give you that motivation to fight your way through for the rest of the evening, or it makes you dwell on those mistakes, makes you hate yourself, makes you, you know, struggle to pick yourself back up and fight through. So it might be a very long evening for Jamie Ayres, or it'll be the comeback of his life and he'll fight his way back through for the rest of the evening. But that remains to be seen. Unfortunately, race 1 has come to a premature end for him, but for us, it continues on. The top 4, look at how close this is. Griffiths trying to put some pressure on Hunt, and Hefford trying to put some pressure on Griffiths. He is really hammering on through the chicane, and not really an overtaking opportunity there.
No, but PVG got a better run out of the chicane than either of the top 3, and is now closed on to the back of Steve Evans. There's the line behind him of the PRTs of Bramer, Sylvester, Owens, Chagnon, Kellerman, Wright and Cullinan, all in the back end of that picture there as well. Andy Littler further down with Darren McLean, and Jamie Ayres back through. Barry's in the pits, and there's a reason Barry's in the pits, and this would be the reason why Mick Barry is in the pits. Him and Darren McLean, and McLean's gone off. Barry looks like he may have done that. Not
he
sure.
was hoping we didn't look at that. He was, yeah, that looks like he's just glanced down at his phone, right hand down a bit, off the grass. Yeah. he would have, well, as soon as that happened, he'd have been kicking himself and be like, hang on, boys, I've just done that. That was not great. And that is a real shame because it wasn't much that caused it. He managed to avoid the actual incident that he could have very easily been a part of, but then off the exit, just nothing. Very wide though from Daniel Hunt. That is going to force him to go defensive. Here comes Tom Griffiths maybe to put some pressure on capitalising on a poor run from the race leader.
Yeah, definitely is there as well. Hunt looking into the car currently at the moment, and then on the right hand side as he goes on to that gravel. Going forward, Tom Griffiths. There is Hunt in front of us. Griffiths a sweep to the inside. Is he going to be able to make this one work? He's going to have that run down into Redgate. Hepford's coming alongside as well. Hunt is now on the outside. There's a 1:17.038 from Miles Owens, and the PRT's behind him. They're going to be too wide going down now. Here we go. They drop down into the Craner curves and then into the old hairpin, and it is Tom Griffiths through. Hunt still trying. They're going to take it too wide through the old hairpin. Is this going to work? We've seen this before, and the car on the outside does that. And it didn't work so well for Daniel Hunt, as now he's under attack from Steve Hefford, running up the hill. Hefford and PVG. PVG's following Hefford through. He's going to leave that door well and truly closed on Hunt. Hunt can't get back in. He's just losing the positions. He's now into third. PVG didn't stay close enough to Hefford that time around, and he settles into third place. But we have got the Bramer Sylvester Owens PRT train are closed right on the back of this as well, and this could quite easily be a 7-car front run as Daniel Hunt now is having another go at Steve Hefford into the last chicane, Zach.
He is indeed. Gets the measure ahead in the braking zone over the inside, launching the car over the sausage curbs. A bit of a poor run though, so Steve Hefford able to put his foot down first. Is he interested in going for the move, or are they all going to fight and work together to close the gap to the leader? The answer to that is no for now. The Momo car pulls out to the left-hand side. It'll be the outside run through turn number 1 here at Redgate. Daniel Hunt able to hold firm, claim the inside and work his way ahead. There comes Pete Van Gool just behind Steve Hefford through the Craner curves. You can see it coming from a mile away. Hopefully it's going to end well. Side by side between the two teammates. PVG tucks in to situ. They're closely pursued by the two Platinum boys of Ewan Bramer and John Sylvester, though. A 7-car fight for the lead, and Griffiths at the head.
Yeah. He is leading away. Hunt, Hefford, Van Gool. Van Gool still up below behind Hefford there. And Sylvester and Bramer are coming, and they're coming at a rate of knots. They've dropped off Miles Owens off to the back end of the pack. At this moment in time, Owens has dropped back about 1.3 seconds here, but it is all about these front guys here in the AM class. Chagnon has slowly started dropping off Darrell Wright. There is Darrell Wright sitting in 10th place currently, with Arnold Chagnon further up the field there. There's no movements up front at the moment. There's a no-show from one of the PRTs, and that's Ewan Bramer. Didn't bury that last chicane. Probably not the best place to be making that move. You kind of really want to be able to get that nice clean run through that chicane to save you going under attack as you are now from his teammate. Daniel Hunt's trying to go up the inside of Griffiths. He's got the job done down into Redgate. Hefford wants to follow him through, and not this time for anyone else. Griffiths is trying to go back at him. They're going to be back too wide again. Here we go. We've seen this already as they run down the hill. PVG's gone all the way down to the back end of the pack here. And Griffiths and Hefford are coming into the old hairpin now. Oh, are they all going to survive? They do. And it's Hunt up the hill once more behind Tom Griffiths in second place currently at the moment. Steve Hefford and Ewan Bramer battling it out side by side on this run up into McLean's we go. And it is Hefford overall. They're not holding anything back here, Zach. They are literally throwing as much as possible at each other.
Yeah, the stakes are high, and the battling is incredibly hard. It is exactly what we've come to expect from all of these guys, and surprise, surprise, it is week in, week out, usually the same 6, and bumper to bumper, nose to tail, all the way through, not giving an inch, not letting each other have any advantage. Late on the brakes, the pressure is on Ewan Bramer trying to force the initiative on Steve Hefford. In doing so, though, has hampered his momentum. His teammate of Sylvester tries to pick through, does get ahead and up into 4th place. Are we going to see any changes at the front in towards Redgate? Daniel Hunt once again pulling out to the right-hand side, and he's going to have a bit of a look late on the brakes. The gap opens, and Steve Hefford might be eyeing up that inside run next time through. It's all about that switchback, though. The up and under from the car on the outside of Redgate is actually quite substantial, and it is pretty much at any corner you do here at Donington. If you can sort of get back underneath the car as there we go through the crane. It curves into the old hairpin. PVG trying to hang on versus John Sylvester, does that and gets himself up in a 4th place. But it is all about just the exits and seeing how quick your car can be through the straights.
Yeah, the 3 PRT boys side by side currently at the moment, not an ideal scenario. I'm not going to lie, they really want to be running in a line. If they can help each other out, that would be better. Sylvester just sweeps around the outside. Miles Owens is tucked in as well. But it is Daniel Hunt out in front with Griffiths. In the arms, it's Chagnon right with Cullinan and Sampson as well behind them. 2 groups here, and this is the 2 leading arms at the front of this field. And they've got Charles Kellerman, currently number 67, in front of them as well. So this could be an interesting one to see how this one turns out, but it is currently led by the AS Smart Racing of Chagnon. Wright's trying to make moves around the outside. Not an ideal line, and it's cost him his exit, and unfortunately now he's going to be under attack from Charles Kellerman and Martin Sampson as they're going down the straight once more. Not an ideal line for that final chicane. There's that for Darrell Wright, and that's what it's done. But Hunt and Griffiths are back at each other once more with Hafford and Bowen Gall as they run down through Crane and out into the old hairpin. Griffiths is on the inside this time as well. Surely it's got to be tempting. Now I saw this on a BTC event the other week, and they were coming round there, and the driver on the inside just opened up the steering a little bit, shall we say, and the poor driver on the outside didn't have much choice but to take to the grass.
It's easily done. Obviously, you're pretty much on the limit of the car through there. You've dabbed on the brakes. You've probably gone down 1 gear max. You're chucking the car through, using the weight transfer to really get it in. And just a small correction. It might not have even been intentional. Could have just been a small correction on the steering wheel that runs you out wide. It's so risky to go on the outside anywhere because you put a lot of trust on the car on the inside not to mess up, essentially, and you put yourself in a very vulnerable situation. But they're the moves that look the coolest, is sending the move around the outside, and if it works, it works. So Daniel Hunt is searching for an avenue through, but Griffiths is just hanging on there, as he has done so many different times on so many different circuits and venues around the world so far this season. He has been on top of his game in terms of defending, and well, he's putting up such a good fight for Daniel Hunt, who is really hammering on some good pressure. Yeah,
Darrell Wright has just lost a place to Ralph Cullinan. Cullinan is now setting on his way after Chagnon. Bramer and Owens have dropped back from Sylvester, but that fighting probably up front is not going to help them, I'm not going to lie. In an ideal scenario, they don't want to be fighting with each other. They just want to try and get on through the field. PVG is, well, how can I put it, being pushed up the hill by John Sylvester. I don't think he could get any closer even if he wanted to be honest. And now Van Gogh is trying to still stay with Hefford up front. No, the thing is, I'm quite surprised that Pete's not managed to move a little bit further up. He hasn't really gone anywhere. He's in the same grid slot he was. Everybody above him and in the top 9 have all changed positions, and Pete Van Gogh hasn't gone anywhere. He's not up 1, he's not down 1, he's exactly where he was when we started.
The consistency that we were talking about, to be fair, he's held firm throughout the duration of this race, and, you know, he's not done anything wrong, essentially. I mean, obviously he had a bit of a dip, and well, now he's trying to move his way ahead and onto the podium if he can. I mean, he's only got 3 minutes of the race left to do so, which tells me we've got this lap, the next lap, and maybe just about one more if we're lucky, if we scrape onto it in terms of the timing. So we'll wait and see. But 3 laps, 3 places in a train like this, PVG for the win, maybe.
Maybe. It will be, it could well be easily done depending on what happens here at the front with Tom Griffiths and Dan Hunt, with Steve Hefford behind it as well. So it could be easily done here for PVG. But let's see now whether or not he can make any forms of moves with 2.5 minutes remaining. Are they going to be able to make this now? They're going to be running up through Coppice now. They've got literally about a minute to go from Coppice all the way through the chicane and across the start line. Otherwise we're going to have 1 lap, but I've got a funny feeling we may end up having 2 here to go. As we see, Jamie Ayres just going through the top right hand corner of your picture there as he went through the chicane. So Ayres is back on track. Barry is not back on track, unfortunately for Mick. And now Daniel Hunt is looking to try and get the run out as well. I would, for Tom Griffiths' sake, I'm surprised he left that door open then. I'd have run as far down that line as I could have possibly got that car, and then moved, and then seeing what happens, because at the end of the day, he didn't really defend that much.
Yeah, it could have been fought harder. Maybe was anticipating Daniel Hunt goes through on the final lap and wants to do that on Daniel Hunt. Eyeing up the move there. Potentially Van Gaal on Hefford. Move his way on to the podium. No changes between the two Momo boys. But yeah, with how easy it is to overtake him, maybe Griffiths is trying to be on the attack more so than anything. I don't really know as to why he wouldn't defend the lead that hard. That's the only feasible kind of thing that I can sort of try and justify in my head, but even then I'm a bit like, well, why wouldn't you just defend harder rather than having to attack? I'll be honest, I don't know, but he's got about a lap and a third left to go of this race, and to do so he's got to get through on Daniel Hunt, who he has just relinquished the race lead to. And Daniel Hunt, when you give him an opportunity like that, he's not going to take it lighthearted.
No, he's not going to take it, as they say, lying down. Griffiths is going to try and come back up. Hefford's trying to make the move as well. They've all got to bury this chicane and try and make it clean out the other side. Daniel Hunt didn't do that. PVG looked like he didn't do it as well. We got a little bit squirrely, and now we're going to be on the run down into turn one, and it is going to be Griffiths, it is going to be Hefford and Hunt with Sylvester, Bramer and PVG all the way down in 6th place here for the final lap of the race here. The first racer of the evening, Pete Van Gaal on the grass as well. Tom Griffiths is there, he is, sweeping down the hill. They go round the left-hander of Craner Curves. Daniel Hunt is trying to come back round the outside now of Steve Hefford in the old hairpin. Steve's just got to really, no, he didn't even get a defense on. John Sylvester's now coming at him as well as he goes up the hill here into McLean's for the final time in race 1. And Sylvester's gonna get through. I think he's gonna do it here. That's not gonna help Hefford on the gravel, and Sylvester puts himself in 3rd place.
He does indeed, and they've got about 0.3 of a lap left to go, not much. So Tom Griffiths is working his way through and is about 8 tenths clear, so surely it's his race to lose. There's a miracle that is going to see Daniel Hunt take it. A right then a left to go, and Tom Griffiths, he lost the lead, but he got it back.
Yeah, he definitely did. As Griffiths comes across the line, it is going to be Griffiths, Hunt, and then I believe it's going to be Sylvester who's going to get the run between Bramer and Van Gaal, the two Flying Dutchmen. It's going to be Bramer. Bramer got it across the line there, and it was Sylvester who hung on to it. Now what's going on in the AMS? It's going to be Chagnon comes across the line here and takes the win with Wright in 2nd place. That's important for Wright. He's got to stay as close as he can. Well, Jordan Syret is coming across the line and finishing in 3rd, hopefully. Right, there we go. And, well, that's going to basically put the markers down on what we're expecting here this evening then as well, because that race 1, close as you like, 6 cars in the battle, maybe 7 at times, could have been anyone's race.
It could have been, 100% it could have been, and that's what we love to see, is that unpredictability, people jostling for position, going at it, giving their absolute all. And in a championship as close as this as well, it's what you love to see, because it's not just a case of the championship leader and someone who's, say 6th place in the championship fighting with them while the championship rivals down in 7th place or whatever. It is the championship rivals going wheel to wheel, giving it their absolute all. It's not only a fight for the win, it's a fight for the championship, all out on track. They're giving their hearts, they're giving their passion, and here's how they round up for the first race of the evening.
Tom Griffiths is your winner. Dan Hunt in 2nd, John Sylvester 3rd, Steve Hefford 4th, Ewan Bramer 5th, Pete Van Gaal 6th, Miles Owen 7th, Martin Sampson 8th, Arnold Chagnon in 9th, Darrell Wright 10th, Ralph Cullen 11th, Charles Kellerman 12th, Darren McLean down in 13th, Jordan Syret down in 14th, Andy Littler 15th, Jamie Ayres 16th in the end, so Alan Toon 17th, and Mick Barry down in 18th place. So there we go. Right, we've got about 4 minutes remaining here of practice, as we do have a little changeover in the middle as well. So, okay. Well, you said Daniel Hunt, I said PVG, and it was Tom Griffiths, so neither of us got any points for that one.
So are we still 0-0 then for the evening? Is that what we're going with? Are we going for... So it is, we predict who wins, yeah? Just so we're clear on the rules. I know there was a bit of conspiracy last week with, you're changing the rules as you go along. Just so we're clear in the commentators' prediction battle. Yeah, so it's who wins. That's what gets us the point, because we were tied last week, so we need to settle it. So none of our predictions won that time, so it's all down to race 2, 3, and 4. Best of 3, so who knows?
All right. You're going to wait for the grid before you tell me who you're picking for race 2, though. Aren't you?
Yeah, the grid in 3 minutes time. Yeah. No, I will stand firm and I will confidently say we are going to see. What is the reverse grid again? Is it the top? Top what for the reverse grid? You're not going to tell me, are you? No. You know, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's fine. I just wanted to see where Jamie Ayres was starting. I'm going to go with Steve Hefford.
Okay.
And yourself, Mr. James Parfitt? I know you can see the reverse grid, so it's a bit...
I am going to go with Ewan Bramer. Okay.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, go for it. I mean, I don't see that as a bad prediction. I think the thing is though, is we can predict whoever we like. It can be, Ewan Bramer, Jamie Ayres, John Sylvester, Pete Van Gool, Daniel Hunt, whoever. They're all good shouts to predict. It's not a case of they're a bit of an outside shot. You'd be lucky. All of them have the capacity to win, which is the scary thing because of how easy it can both go really well and really bad for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good evening to you, Mr. Jamie Dengle, or Toxic Munchkin. Thank you so much for for jumping in. Miles Owens is back in YouTube chat again. Let's go, Bramer. I'm sorry, Miles. I would go for you, but Zach, help me out.
What's that? Miles Owens, you're not good enough, mate. That's it. Suck it up and get better.
I didn't really want to quite go down as quite the harsh route as Zach has just gone down. I feel you're a little bit off the pace this evening, sir. And,
that's even worse. The fact you're being so diplomatic about it.
I don't feel that this evening could be your night unless you get really lucky with a reverse grid. Jamie Ayres' jump start was rolling, apparently. Really? I didn't see him rolling. Did you?
I didn't.
No. I'm not going to lie, though, because that jump start wouldn't have made a difference if you hadn't spun it in turn 1 either, Jamie. So, horses for courses, shall we say. Horses for courses. Yeah, I didn't see him rolling. So maybe iRacing picking up some wonderful things that didn't actually happen, but who knows. So there we go. Oh dear. 2 weeks to go left of the season. What are we expecting from next season, Zach, within iRacing? Do we think we're going to have anything exciting developments that I might be looking at a rain-soaked track as I was at 5 a.m. this morning within ACC at Monza, which I must admit, if you haven't watched, you should go and watch because there was so many lead changes. It was absolutely unbelievable. And even the weather in ACC told me the track was flooded.
Oh.
It was coming down, mate, like a bat out of hell as well, literally. So there we go. Michael Bousson, good evening to you. Good evening, sir. Hope you're well. I'm 6th in the world record of this track. Okay, so why aren't you winning? Put it out there. Right. Anyway, now I finished giving Miles Owen some grief. We'll wait. Session is over. We'll wait for the grid to come up. And let's see how we get on and how they're going to lie here as well. And here is the grid for race 2. Charles Kellerman first, Ralph Cullen second, Darrell Wright, Arnold Chonier third and fourth, Samson fifth, Owen sixth, Pete Van Gool seventh, Ewan Bramer eighth, Steve Evans ninth, John Sylvester 10th, Daniel Hunt 11th, and Tom Griffiths down in 12th place. So it was a top 12 reverse. Darren McLean 13th, Jordan Syret 14th, Andy Littler 15th, Jamie Ayres 16th, Sir Alan Toon 17th, and Mick Barry down in 18th place. Still going to stick with your pick?
Yeah, I'm confident. I don't need to change. We've got this. Me and Steve Hefford.
All right. And then Miles Owens comes back in with, because I'm bad. I'm not going to repeat the whole word of that, but thank you so much for that. Yeah, as well. So, right. Here we go once more for race 2. Don't forget, after race 2, guys, we do have to change a quick session change before we go into race 3 and 4. And as well, don't forget, if you want to get yourself involved in the JPB Clio Cup, the sign-ups are still open. There's only 4 left of the Clios, but we will get this underway here with the lights with Charles Kellerman on pole. 5 lights and we're out and away we go. Barney's waving there. A barnstorming start from Charles Kellerman. I'm going to give props where props are due here. This man got an absolute flyer off the line with Ralph Cullinan in second, then Arnaud Chagnon making a move upside the inside. Darrell Wright all ready for the lead of the AMs. Chagnon has jumped right at the beginning, over right, around the right-hander and down the hill at the same time. So great job from Arnold Chagnon there, Zach. Everybody seems to have got away cleanly currently at the moment. Steve Everett and Miles Owen. Steve's off track. Yo! Oh, Darrell Wright's in the wall. Oh, I'm wondering if Steve Everett may have had something inherently involved with that one.
Let's take a look. I mean, Steve, come on. I put some faith into you, mate. We'll ride on with him. He's fine. He's wide. He's off. Oh, my word.
Oh, no. Darrell Wright does it all on his own. One of the PRTs get caught up in that as well. And unfortunately there, Steve went running down the grass, scared a lot of people. But Arnaud Chagnon battling away here with Pete Van Gool and Ewan Bramer. How is this going to work out with Martin Sampson, Ralph Cullinan and Charles Kellerman there as well? Bramer's got a run on Arnaud Chagnon around the outside. PVG's on the left. The 2 Dutchmen have sandwiched the Frenchman. And now it's all about PVG and Ewan Bramer. Bramer's going up into 4th, +4 already in race 2 for Ewan Bramer. Absolutely stunning there as well. He's now got to set his sights on Sampson, Cullinan and Kellerman.
He has to, indeed. Brilliant stuff from all involved. Brilliant start from the top 3, it must be said. But yeah, Ewan Bramer's got his work cut out for him to claw back some time. PVG, well, yes, they're a battle of 2 different teams. What are we going to see? Are we going to see them fight out over 4th place? Is there going to be a bit of a truce between Platinum and Momo just for the momentary lapse to close the gap, which might be coming a lot sooner than they'd expect because of the fight between Sampson and Cullinan? Sampson up in the 2nd place, and in all fairness, puts some pressure on the race leader. If Charles Kellerman doesn't get away, he's in trouble from the returning.
He is there as well. Steve Evans just got past Chagnon as well. Who is this Bramer block? I think he means bloke, Mike. B-L-O-K-E. So, we won't worry too much about it. I'm not going to be jumping on the grammar police here and tell you spelt it wrong, but you did. You spelt block, but never mind. Steve Everett sitting in 6th place with Dan Hunt, Tom Sylvester, John Sylvester and Tom Griffiths, sorry, creating love children now, with Jamie Ayres in 11th as well. Arnaud Chagnon is kind of doing the right thing. He's trying to stay ahead of the AM without trying to get involved with the pros, which I kind of liked from Arnaud Chagnon. He understands he's got one job, and that's to win the AMs, and he's doing it in a way that doesn't put himself under pressure. Obviously, if he loses one more place here to Darren McLean, he's going to be under pressure from Jordan Syret. But there we go, Syret is sitting 1 place back. There he is at the bottom end of the screen here as well. And Kellerman has now got Sampson for company here at the front of the field. The 2 optical boys, how is this going to work out as well? We haven't seen much of the optical guys this season. They've been a little bit quiet with the likes of Kellerman, Sampson, Jacqueline. Jacqueline's had his moments, of course. He's not racing here this week. It's been a little bit quiet between these guys. As you can see, Darrell Wright moving over. This must be a hard-felt situation where he's just been lapped already on lap 3 here, Zach. And as Kellerman and Sampson go into the final chicane.
Yeah, well, doing a great job is to just stay composed. There's a brilliant move there from Pete Van Gool relative to both Ewan Bramer and obviously Ralph Cullinan. Side by side for the lead as well as Martin Sampson's not waiting around at all. He's been a long time coming on his return and already firing on all cylinders. Inside line for Redgate, the 995 up 4 places from the start. He takes the lead of race number 2. But Charles Kellerman not going to let it slide easy. Pete Van Gool, Ewan Bramer on the fight back. And Pete Van Gool not waiting around at all to find himself in 2nd place. Looking for the move, but it's not quite there yet.
No, I think that would have been a dangerous, you're going on the grass move, son, if you went round the outside of Charles Kellerman there. Kellerman, the cork in the bottle, should we say, at the moment, stopping the front runners of PVG and Ewan Bramer, getting past him to get on to Martin Sampson. He's kind of playing the rear gunner to Martin Sampson at the moment, but he has got to follow that inside line, because if you leave that door open a little bit, it's going to be tough here. PVG's now going to run up, try. He lost a nose there, and Kellerman nearly lost a back end. It was nearly plastic surgeon for both of them cars currently, as well as Bramer is now going to be looking at a run down PVG into the chicane. I'm not entirely sure that's going to work. Slot back in, sir, and look for the exit out the other side, Zach. I think erring on the side of caution would be best. Griffiths is trying to make the move up the inside of Steve Hefford as well. Both of them bump curbs. Griffiths has got the run now. Hefford didn't get that run out in the second part. Ayres has made his way up. He's up 6 places already as Jamie Ayres, and he's just sent it free wide. Going down into turn 1, these MX5s here. It's going to be a straight drag race between Griffiths and Ayres. Griffiths gets through. Ayres is going to try it. Ayres makes it. Is Griffiths going to get the inside line? He is. Hefford's going to try and push Ayres along to give him a little bump drop. Down through the crane of curves they go. Griffiths on the right, Ayres on the left, and here is Steve Hefford sitting in the back. And it is going to be Jamie Ayres who's going to send it out the inside of the old hairpin. Hefford's going to have to run up the hill as well here, Zach, as they go on to Starkey's as well on lap 5.
Brilliant stuff from all involved. Great respect given, of course, Ewan Bramer and PVG swapping around as well. PVG, I think, may have had a bit of an incursion. There is the optical red car. That's Charles Kellerman tumbling down as well, so maybe a bit of argy-bargy involved in the fight for the lead, of which Martin Sampson able to eke out just over a second advantage relative to Ewan Bramer. It's been quite a close fight, in all fairness, between everyone, and the race of attrition really is there. A small mistake and it could see you off the podium.
There it is. Kellerman is now down in 5th place. Oh, Bramer's made a mistake as well. Ewan Bramer running along the grass. Well, there goes my pick. Done and dusted. Pete Van Gaal sitting in 2nd place here as well. Steve Hefford is currently down in 10th place. I don't think we're doing very well this evening. He's just got up the outside of Ewan Bramer, both of us together sitting in 9th and 10th here, Zach, with PVG in 2nd. Maybe PVG might have been a better pick, who knows?
Yeah, well, always hindsight, and yeah, PVG, he does pick his moments, doesn't he? It's like, yeah, we're rooting for you, Pete, mate, go on. And then it's like, yeah, you know what, I won't, just to say, you know what, just to say some nice choice words to us, and then we're like, yeah, you know what, PVG, look at that guy, who even is he? And then he goes and does a race like this. That's what we mean when he's very up and down. It's very inconvenient to us. But what I have noticed is at some point during the race, our predictions go side by side and fight it out, which I love for whatever reason. Whether it's just a coincidence and just that sort of, we wouldn't notice it as much if we hadn't actually predicted them. But yeah, I just always find it quite interesting. No matter what, we always find a way to have a battle out on circuit, and getting told it's something to do with the commentator's curse. But here comes Daniel Hunt as well. Both of our picks from race number 1 have carved their way through the field. What is this?
Yeah, not ideal. Not going to lie. I had PVG and he's sitting in 2nd. You had Hunt and he's in 3rd. And our actual picks are down in 9th and 10th place. Come on, boys, sort it out. As Daniel Hunt is now going into 3rd place. Cullinan's dropped down to 4th. Kellerman is now just got past Sylvester, but I think Sylvester's going to have that run down through Craner. They go down the hill, and it is Kellerman in the green and black on the right hand side, car number 67. Sylvester in the PRT liveried as well. Ayres is following him through. Kellerman's lost 2 places. If for the sake of one corner he lost 2 spots, he's now down in 7th with charging Tom Griffiths behind him in 8th place. Cullinan is trying to come back at Daniel Hunt. He's trying to run him up the outside, inside here. Through McLean's they go. The Irishman from Ralph Cullinan has got the job done over Daniel Hunt. He's just got to stay on that inside line. Up through Coppice they go. And it is Ralph Cullinan through. John Sylvester's going to follow through as well. And it looks like Jamie Ayres is going to try and go through just for good measure. And poor old Daniel Hunt would have lost 3 places by the time he's got down here as well. Cullinan made a little bit of a half attempt to try and defend the inside from Sylvester. Sylvester said thank you very much. The Hunt has spun Cullinan round as well. So unfortunately for Ralph Cullinan there, he's gone round on the nose of Dan Hunt. And Hunt now is, well, yeah, not ideal. Not an ideal scenario.
Not at all, but the fight continues. The show must go on despite the casualties, despite the heartbreaks for some. has got to continue, and well, Martin Sampson, I have to say, he's really impressed me. Pete Van Gaal not really able to put much of a dent into it either, into the final 5 minutes of this race. Here is Daniel Hunt on the back of John Sylvester for P3. He's found himself picking up a couple of places recently. It's been such a bizarre race up till now, and I guess we've gotten used to it in a sense that it's not ever a crazy race because it is just the Tuesday night.
It's something that we're so familiar with here in the UK SimRacers on a Tuesday. Pete Van Gaal, Sylvester, Hunt, Ayres, Griffiths, Kellerman, Bramer and Hefford and Owens round out the top 10, but it is Martin Sampson from Optical Red currently out in front at this moment in time, and he's flying along. They're going to send it free wide. This ain't going to work. Somebody's got to back out, and it is John Sylvester. Jamie Ayres sends out the inside of Dan Hunt. Ayres is up 13 places, mind you, and is now sitting in third as these guys are going to come along once more for this run into turn one, and it's 2 by 2 here. Hunt on the right, Ayres up the front, Griffiths behind it, and Sylvester, and it is Sylvester over Griffiths gets the job done. Ayres over Hunt only just, but he's very slow out. He needs a push from John Sylvester, and he gets it there as well, and Sylvester gives Ayres the push going down the hill. Is now setting free to go after Daniel Hunt. Hunt's going to have the outside line for the old hairpin. Is Ayres going to send it out the inside? Not this time. Griffiths is coming back as well here, Zach. And now it's all going off behind him. Kellerman and Bramer trying to make the move as well. It's 2 by 2 and almost by 2 again as they're going up the hill into McLean's, and everybody fighting out. Griffiths is through, Hunt's back through as well, and there's just no room at the end there. Where are they going to go when they're trying to get that close to each other?
Into a little cot in the stables, potentially. I don't know what are they going to do, but here is Jamie Ayres trying to find the space. Outside line through Coppice, not quite going to work. Daniel Hunt going to the right. It's a conga line in the train as they all try to search for the slipstream. Daniel Hunt hanging on the inside, but Jamie Ayres is never one to give up easy. Outside line through the final chicane, up over the curb. He's gone for the move. Jamie Ayres up in a P3. Brilliant stuff. Daniel Hunt with a poor run. Here comes race one winner of Tom Griffiths in the slipstream. A drag race now through the back straight, the pitch straight in towards Redgate. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to be last to break? Inside line for Hunt. He sends the move, maybe on one, also the other. Almost, but to no avail. Jamie Ayres, sensational move to the outside there.
Yeah, Ayres got the job done over Hunt. Ayres is now up into third place, up 13 places, with Hunt behind there as well. Griffiths, Sylvester, Bramer, Kellerman still hanging on by the coattails if he can. John Sylvester, that E1 Bramer's waving out the back there, and Kellerman is hanging on. Daniel Hunt's got a slow run out of the old hairpin. Is going to be up alongside by Tom Griffiths, who's getting a gentle push there by John Sylvester. Sylvester sends him up the inside line. He's got to get him again to try and get that inside line into Coppice, and nothing doing currently, but it is all still nose to tail once more here at Donington Park. And it is Ayres, Hunt, Griffiths, Sylvester and Bramer, and Kellerman is just about to get overtaken by Steve Hefford, I think, down into the chicane. If he can hold that off, that would be an absolutely stunning defence from Charles Kellerman. Barry's into the pits by the looks of it once more as well. Poor old Mick Barry's had a bit of an awful race one and race two. Maybe he's still recovering from his wedding over the weekend, who knows. But it is Griffiths fighting away with Hunt, and then Sylvester behind him with Bramer behind that as well. Ayres has opened a little bit of a gap now, Zach. 7 tenths currently at the moment. Hunt's got about 4 back to Griffiths, but is it enough still, as we're going to have this one and one more?
Yeah, tight stuff. I mean, it is, you know, when you're in positions like this, the pressure is just so high, you have to be on it. But yeah, time constraints, 15-minute races only. You've not got long really to pick your way through, and particularly in times like this, each corner you go through is a lack of an opportunity really to actually seal the deal. But from all of these guys, a pat on the back all around because they've been so good, they've been respectful, and the racing has been second to none. The fight for third is still on. Ayres, Hunt, Griffith, Sylvester, all of them within a shout of the championship. Let's not forget, this all means something to each and every single one of these drivers, and these are the battles that we love to see. Final stage of the race, number 2, and the top 2 places seem secure, but beyond that, it's an uncertainty.
Yeah, Sampson and Van Gaal look like they've summed it up here as well. Hefford has just gone up the inside of Kellerman. No, all right, not without putting Charles onto the gravel, unfortunately, there for Charles Kellerman. Had to take a trip to the gravel. and Sylvester now with Griffiths once more, and they're on the back of Hunt again. We are on the final lap of the race here for race 2, and Ayres is hanging on to this podium, not by much. Zach, I think is the would be the answer for that one.
By the skin of his teeth, by the tips of his fingers, over the core, hanging on to a rock's edge by the tip of his fingers over a very, very steep mountain is what Jamie Ayres is doing, and he's obviously from Wales, so he knows what that's like firsthand in terms of hanging on and, well, the mountainous terrain. He knows what it's like to deal with said pressure. P3 at the moment, side by side between Hunt and Griffiths, just in the background for 4th and 5th. They're deciding their fights, and it's allowing Jamie Ayres to stay in front. Griffiths to the inside of Coppice, brilliant racing, but Ayres is going to be licking his lips to this, an absolute delight, because P3 is in the bag.
Yeah, looks like it now. Martin Sampson's coming through the final chicane here. Martin Sampson is going to get the win. That was neither of our picks. You can see the battle further back as well. Looks like Griffiths has got Hunt. Hunt's got Griffiths. How is this going to work? Is they going to be trying this cutback as well? There's a run out from Sylvester. Down to the line they go. Is it going to be Griffiths? Is it going to be Sylvester? They come over the line. It's going to be Griffiths. But literally 0.061 of a second there. And did Arnold Chonier come across the win in the AMS? He did. Ralph Cullinan behind that as well. So Alan Toon looks like he will get second place. So great job from Sir Toon in second in the AMS. He has got Jordan Syret pressurising him here going down into the final chicane. Can Alan Toon hang on? I think it's just a matter of time. He's going to take a podium, his first one of the evening, of course. He did really well, actually, to be fair, last week out as well. And did a stellar job there as well. But here, Alan Toon gets his podium place in second in the AMS with Jordan Syret in third. Littler will come across the line behind that as well, as we just wait for the last of the drivers to come over, and it is Andy Littler. So another great race there for race 2, Zach. And I think one that, well, it's just going to carry on as the evening goes on, I believe.
100%, they're relentless. I love this. Also, by the way, just bravo to Martin Sampson. What a race to come back to things. I do love how just before race 1, I sort of was like, yeah, no, Martin Sampson is a win. That just as a joke. And he goes and does it in race 2. What a lad.
Yeah, storm in there, and neither of us picked him. So Martin Sampson is in first. PVG second, Jamie Ayres third, Dan Hunt fourth, Tom Griffiths fifth, John Sylvester sixth, and then Ewan Bramer, Steve Hepford, Charles Kellerman, Miles Owens, Arnold Chonier, Ralph Cullinan, Sir Alan Toon, Jordan Syret, Andy Littler, Darryl Wright, Darren McLean, and of course Mick Barry. I think Mick has got some hangover issues going on from his wedding that was gone last weekend. But guys, it's that time in the evening as well. RS98, welcome in. Something with commentators, Cass? Not this time. We did all right. Great battles as always, though. It definitely was. But we're going to jump on to a quick break, and then we will see you straight after. Okay, we are back once more here at Donington Park for race 3, going into the final 2 races of the evening. And what a stunning race that was last time out, with Martin Sampson taking a win over PBG in the pros. And then Sean Yanye, Alan Toon and Jordan Syret in the AMs. And it was Jamie Ayres who finished off the podium in the pro class as well. Okay, so I'd like to have a chat, Zach, about the fact that neither of mine or your picks are actually doing too well this evening. We're still on 0-0 going into the last 2 races. Who's on your, who's on your radar for this one?
Wow. The whole grid, essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's no set
anyone
format.
can do it.
That don't cop out.
I'm not. No. I'm not getting splinters on my bottom, as Phil has very kindly volunteered
to remove them,
pick out with his industry level tweezers. I'm gonna go with Tom Griffiths. He's had a really good night pace wise. Obviously, he won race 1. He did really well in race 2. If he gets a good first lap, he is dangerous. So I'm gonna go with Griffiths. Yeah, for race 3.
All right, I'm gonna pull one out of the blue here. I'm gonna go with Miles Owens. Okay. Mr.
How much has he just whipped into your bank account for you to say that?
None. He hasn't.
Wow.
He hasn't given me any yet. After
you sent him an invoice yet?
Yeah. After. Favoritism during the broadcast. It's going to be after. That's what he said to me. So, going forward and all.
This is corruption. This is. I hope everyone watching along is bearing witness to this, because if James wins the whole commentator's prediction thing, I want everyone to look back to this moment and remember it as to why I am the rightful victor of this.
There's other people in this world that can do it, and they call it just politics, mate. So, if they can do it, then why can't we? That's what I say. So, Miles Owens, we'll chat after. You know what I mean? As we see Arnold Chagnon, they go off the side of the circuit. Not ideal. Now, they have got 12 minutes left to practice. We will hope they will be advancing the session very shortly, so we can get underway for race 3. Hefford has just done a 1:17.66 here. It's been an interesting 2 races. They haven't given up. There's been battles all the way through the field. And I'm just wondering, realistically, race 3 and race 4 does have its moments sometimes where mistakes, should we say, get made? Is that the best way to put it?
Mistakes are made, yeah. Very eloquent and very diplomatic to the drivers, and not me slating Miles Owens. Yeah, mistakes are made from many a people, as we do see in the very little margin for error format of the MX5s of Donington Park. It's tricky, and that's to be expected. So yeah, mistakes are going to happen, but yeah, it is always the latter part of the evening where we see these things. Race 3 and 4, don't know what happens in the driver's head, but I think they're off the back of race 1 and 2, good or bad. They're using that as fuel to propel themselves into a different state of mind. They're jacked up on adrenaline, they're excited, they're raring to go, they're frustrated or motivated, and they're just going to go for it. So maybe with everyone so confident and so willing to go for those moves, that is obviously maybe why we do see a bit of carnage and chaos. I know Miles Owens is in the YouTube chat saying, what has he done? You've done absolutely nothing, mate. It's just you're an easy target and I'm horrible, essentially. That is not a great way, and proof of our points.
PVG and Charles Kellerman. Basically, Miles, what happened was I picked you to win race 3. Zach said, how much did you put into my bank account? And then asked me if I've sent you an invoice yet, which I haven't. We will discuss it after. But then feels that there's somewhat of a little bit of corruption going on between myself and you if you go out and win race 3. Now, obviously, from my point of view, I don't really care what he says. If you want to go out and win it, son, go out and win it. I'll deal with him after. He ain't going to say too much, but he'll be all right. Don't worry, I've got your back. There we go.
You know, it's good when James got your back, though. He's always a nice guy to have on your side, because getting on James's bad side is not fun. I've actually, to be fair, right, I've actually been on my best behavior recently. Ever since I've joined. I say recently, I've never actually been told off yet, so I'm good. I'm still in the good books. It's fine. I just know what you're capable of. You're a father, and you have kids screaming around, and you haven't fully soundproofed your walls yet. So I dare to think the slandering that has happened at some point. So yeah, well, I'll be on my best behaviour. I won't say anything bad, but I reckon I've been close, but especially on Tuesday nights where I'll just rip into you a couple of times. So yeah, I got to watch my mouth a little bit, but it's all right, because hopefully in a week's time I'll be fully licensed and be able to drive away from you.
Right, here we go. The grid is up. Syret, Van Gaal, Hunt, Griffiths, Wright, Barry, Toon, Channonier, Littler, Sylvester, Kellerman, and Jamie Ayres down in 12th. And then beyond that, Cullinan, Owens, Bramer, Hefford, Sampson down in 14th. Jordan Syret on the front of the grid. We are going to be going on underway. They did advance that as well. And here we go now once more. Jordan Syret is at the front, and he is way with PVG behind him here as well. There's somebody from PRT. Ewan Bramer did not go anywhere, but it is Pete Van Gaal has got the lead over Jordan Syret going down into turn 1 with Daniel Hunt goes past him as well. Tom Griffiths sitting in 4th place. Barry in 5th. Channonier, Wright, Littler as well. Alan Toon is there, but he's just been overtaken. Martin Sampson, Ayres is further down. Bramer's at the back end of the field. Didn't actually make a move off the start line whatsoever there for Ewan Bramer, but unfortunately now it is all the way down here with Steve Hefford and Miles Owens battling away nicely. Tom Griffiths has just gone up into 2nd place. PVG's off the side of the circuit. The tower's going absolutely mental here, Dak, and I can't really keep up who's changing what position because they're all going all over the place.
All I can see, tunnel vision, Tom Griffiths into the race lead ahead of Daniel Hunt. Brilliant racing between the pair of them. Tyre smoke in the background though. What's going on there? There's a car stricken on the right-hand side of the circuit. Oh, a dive there from one of the Momo boys. Wow, that was nearly into the side of one of the Platinum cars. That is Jamie Ayres sending the move side by side. He now is with
Steve Hefford's
John
got
Sylvester, then Steve
Hefford.
And Steve Hefford, wow. It's just carnage and chaos. It's a race 3.
Yeah, the tower is just going absolutely mental. It's green, it's red, it's green, it's red. It can't really make up its mind who's where at the moment. So we're going to have to give this a minute to settle down here, I think, as everybody has gone strooning through once more. But it is Tom Griffiths and Dan Hunt. They're avoiding all this, with Arnold Channonier sitting in 3rd place, Darrell Wright in 4th, Kellerman in 5th. Sylvester's now on the somewhere in that pack. Where is it? Go number 64. He's on the outside line, and there is Andy Littler in the middle of all of this as well, with Steve Hefford and Jamie Ayres. Miles Owens has unfortunately gone off and is now there. So, well, that sucks. Ralph Cullinan is just about to be overtaken by Pete Van Gaal. Van Gaal's all out of shape. He hits him. Oh, come on. Oh, dearie me. Jamie Ayres there as well, the 3 Momo boys together, and Darrell Wright somewhere in this pack battling away with Martin Sampson, who's up 11 places.
Sampson, I am so impressed with, can I just say. He is flying up to P5 already. Sensational stuff off the back of the win. Arnaud Channonier and Darrell Wright. I was about to commend Darrell Wright for being up in 6th place. Then I saw Channonier up in 3rd. Amazing stuff. Amazing displays of racing action, and yeah, some have been really lucky, some have been really unlucky. I would like to point out Miles Owens down in P16, obviously not getting the best of luck in the opening moments. There is John Sylvester working his way through in P12. It's really been an up and down race, a roller coaster of emotions for so many different people.
Yeah, absolutely. Here as well, it definitely has been. I couldn't even keep up at one point. The tower was going absolutely mental. I wasn't exactly sure who was going to end up where, but it is now Ayres, Hefford and Van Gaal sitting in 7th, 8th and 9th. Bramer's in 10th, Littler's in 11th with Sylvester in 12th. Owens is down in 16th at the back end of the field. Griffiths is in 1st place with Daniel Hunt behind him.
Wow.
Come on, Dan. Sorry.
Hang on. Oh wow, yeah, you just, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I didn't say anything.
You're just cheering him on. This is commentator bias.
didn't say
how you got
nothing.
nominated for a Simmy, I do not know, Mr. James Parfitt.
It cost me a fortune, sir, but clearly it wasn't
What, in
quite...
botted votes?
Yeah.
In botted votes. Was it?
Yeah, it clearly wasn't quite enough, but it cost me an absolute fortune. I didn't say anything. I just said, you know, how well Daniel Hunt's doing.
He's doing a brilliant job. I respect that. And he is actually going for the race lead now. Pulls out to the right-hand side, so it's the fast lap of the race while he's at it. Tom Griffiths, though, he is a lion. He obviously relinquishes the race lead. He wants to make us interesting. Griffiths, he's a brilliant driver. He's my pick, of course he is. He wants to make us interesting. He don't want to run away with things. He wants to play with his food a little bit, I think, is what we're going with.
What is he, a lion eating a deer or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Oh, okay.
100%, yeah. I don't know if lions eat deers, but a gazelle
what,
maybe.
What do you mean? Don't think they eat deer. They eat anything. Lions will eat you if you stood still long enough. Anything.
No, I'd run faster. I'm
You would. I would love to see you running away from a lion and seeing how far you get. Give you 20 metres before you're, before you're lion food. I'm sorry. JBS here with Ewan Bramer. Bramer gives him a little love tap on the side. Coming out of Coppice at the moment, and for them it is Bramer up. No, Ayres has gone back through, and Ayres takes it back out again. So that's Jamie Ayres in 9th place there. Dan Hunt has cleared Tom Griffiths, and Griffiths is going to be looking at trying to come back here as well. Can he do Zach Proud at the moment and take that victory? Can Tom Griffiths? Can Sean Yonye hang on to this 3rd overall in the AMS with Martin Sampson behind him, 2.2 seconds back? And it is Hunt and Griffiths once more here as well, going down into turn 1. There we go, the timing is back here once more. And could he do it, Zach? Can Griffiths get Hunt? Are you optimistic?
I mean, yeah, I think I'm quite realistic in that sense. I think at the very least we are going to see another lead change over the course of the race. Whether it is going to be at the checker flag, Daniel Hunt or Tom Griffiths in front is another thing. But this fight is not over. Daniel Hunt will not lead the rest of this race. I am almost certain of it. I'm going to just touch wood and pray to my lucky stars that I haven't completely cursed Tom Griffiths there. But I am, with the racing that we've seen, I think it's very unlikely that Tom Griffiths is going to take this line down. Daniel Hunt is a veteran. He is so quick. But it's mistakes like that, actually. Tom Griffiths gets such a better run out of Coppice, purely because I think Daniel Hunt just understeers ever so slightly, and it is putting him under a bit of pressure. All it takes is one lap for him to go that slightly bit too wide, and Griffiths is right back into the fight.
Yeah, it definitely is, but let's see how he gets on. Jamie Ayres is down in 9th place currently at the moment. Charles Kellerman, they were side by side going in through the chicane. Ayres is going to get it this time around, and Ayres does move himself up into 8th. Miles Owens has moved up 2 places. He's got about 5.5 seconds over to Jordan Syret. Got a funny feeling that might be as far as Miles Owens will go. Just putting it out there. Kellerman is just about to again try and come around the outside of Jamie Ayres. Ayres has got that inside line. He's now got the flying Dutchman of Ewan Bramer behind him. Darrell Wright has got Pete Van Gaal, the other Dutchman as well, just about to go up the inside through Crater Curves. Job done for Pete Van Gaal, and he is up and now sitting in 5th place, chasing down Martin Sampson, who is up 13 places and is getting onto the back of this man from the Air Smart Racing team, Arnold Chardonnay, out in currently sitting in 3rd overall, up 5, and Griffiths and Hunt are about 5.8 seconds down the road, so they're absolutely flying. Bramer has just got Charles Kellerman here on the run out of the cleans going up into Coppice. He's going to hold that inside line. He doesn't want to be taking too much of that gravel, because as we've seen, you can get an unfortunate slowdown, and Hunt is still managing to hold on from Griffiths for the lead. And Tom, Phil was in YouTube chat. I'd like to point out Hunt was my pick, but that was back in race 1, Phil. You know, you haven't said much for race 2 and race 3, but we'll give you that, I suppose. I guess.
Yeah, he didn't give anyone different, so we're just going to assume that he's gone from Hunt for race 1, race 2 and race 3. Sticking to his guns, fair play. So, yeah, he's committed to the bit with Daniel Hunt. The Daniel Hunt fan committee, I think, is the case. But Tom Griffiths looks so menacing. He is right up the rear end of that leading MX5. He's done a brilliant job in hammering that pressure on, but Daniel Hunt is not one to squirm away from pressure. He's one of those cars that just doesn't fall victim to it, doesn't crack under pressure. He's a diamond forged under pressure is what Daniel Hunt is. Tom Griffiths, though, is going to be given his absolute all in order to maybe chuck the move to the inside. What I am most interested in is that run through Coppice, up the hill ever so slightly. Griffiths just takes a very narrow line, and you can see Daniel Hunt washing out, doesn't even take that second apex. Look at the difference. There's almost a different postcode between the pair of them, and it allows Griffiths on the exit to put his foot down. You can see the gap closing and closing. It's not quite enough, but Griffiths, he's strong around the lap. It's just that Daniel Hunt, I think, just gets the exits and is good enough in order to hang on. But the final half of this race, anything can happen. They've got the gap back to Samson, who's up 14 places into P3. Brilliant stuff from the race 2 victor, but they've got the gap. They don't need to work together. 6 and a bit seconds, 5 and a bit minutes worth of racing. They've got the margin here that they can just push and go at each other.
Yeah, Ayres and Bramer are side by side going around turn 1. Ayres did get that run, and then Bramer's come back at him, and then they've swapped again. No fewer than 3 times, mind you, over the last half of this race circuit. It was Ayres past Bramer, Bramer past Ayres, Ayres past Bramer, and Bramer's coming back at him once more here as well. Down the hill into the old hairpin they go. And Jamie Ayres is managing to hang on from Ewan Bramer. Chagnon, Martin Sampson is unfortunately, looks like he's had an incident. He's dropping down the order now. He's lost a place to Steve Pefford and Arnold Chagnon and Darrell Wright. And unfortunately for Sampson, from his 13 plus, he's now only 10 up on where he was, but he is still sitting in 7th place, chasing Steve Pefford, who's also up 10. Who's got Darrell Wright in front of him currently at the moment, who's going to be battling away with Chagnon for the lead in the AMs. Not going to be an easy one when you've got 2 AMs fight in there for Steve Pefford. I don't expect Darrell Wright to put up a massive fight, but I don't expect him to be rolling over like a puppy either, to be honest, as he's coming through the second part. Griffiths has got the inside of Dan Hunt for the lead once more time. 4 minutes remaining. Hunt, oh, God blimey, that could have been worse there.
Yeah, well, swapping and changing, like I said, it wasn't going to be the last lead change that we'd see. Daniel Hunt, again, similar to Griffiths, is not going to take it lying down. He is going to fight on all fronts and throw everything at the 16 machine. They are 2 tyrants of the championship, 2 drivers that we always see battling first and second, third and fourth, wherever you like to put them. They will give us a brilliant fight. Tom Griffiths third in the championship, Daniel Hunt leading the way, but only 19 points between the pair of them coming in to this round. It's a fight for the championship. The stakes have never been higher, particularly in the final few rounds. Tom Griffiths, race 3, if he can secure a double victory today, that is going to be absolutely huge. But look at that run from Daniel Hunt, pulling out, pulls back in again. Tom Griffiths, this has surely got to be some of the, well, for both of them actually, this has got to be some of the highest pressure they have felt in probably a very long time.
Yeah, definitely here as they're going over the line. 3 minutes remaining, and it looks like Cyrus and Owens are swapping backwards and forwards quite a lot further down, and it is now Miles Owens in front of Jordan Cyrus, so he did manage to catch on. Ewan Bramer, Ayres and Sylvester are still going at it as well. Sampson's coming back as trying to go around the outside of the air smart of Arnold Chagnon. He's just lost a place to Steve Hefford. Now the AM battle is going to come alive because there's Darrell Wright as well, who needs to clear Arnold Chagnon. Chagnon has won the last 2 races for the AMs here. So Darrell Wright really needs to get back at him and take that victory. But back up front, Griffiths and Hunt once more as they're going out through McLean's and then up the hill into Coppice here for lap 10 with 2 minutes remaining. So you're going to have 1 and 1 more. Hunt's got the inside line, another place changed over once more, and it is Dan Hunt out in the lead currently. No, Griffiths has got it back once again on the exit out of Coppice down into the chicane, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Griffiths feeling the pressure because he's moved over ever so slightly off the racing line. Hunt on the hunt through the right, then the left. 2 minutes on the clock. The penultimate lap about to start. Griffiths versus Hunt. Beautiful races, beautiful racing between the pair of them, and it has been nothing but respect. This is the fight for the AM lead. Darrell Wright able to pick his way through with Arnaud Chagnon just in behind. Both of them leading the way in the AM Championship, and both of them putting on such a good show for race number 3 of this event. I mean, I have to say, I can only talk positively about tonight. There's not really been anything that's been wrong with it as fights up and down the Anfield. This is the fight for the Am podium between Syrat and Littler. Argy bargy.
Yeah, Cullinan's coming, just going to slice through the middle. He's going to try and make it 3 wide going down into turn 1. The Irishman is in the middle. Jordan Syrat on the right. Andy Littler in the 999 on the left. Littler's going to hang it out. He backs out. They all back out and allow Cullinan to go on and then resume their battle where they almost come to contact as Syrat runs around the outside of Littler and gets the job done as well. Jordan Syrat in 14th currently at the moment. Bramer and Sylvester are still in exactly the same position where they are at the moment. Martin Sampson's up the road 1.96 seconds. Darrell Wright has cleared Chagnon, but now Chagnon is under attack from Ayres, and Griffiths is still on the last lap of the race under attack from Dan Hunt.
Indeed so. 10 more corners left to go. 1 short lap around Donington Park for race number 3. Could it be a double victory for Tom Griffiths? Could it be a first of the night for Daniel Hunt? Outside line for the championship leader. He breaks later. He saws his way all the way around the outside of Red Gate corner. Gets given the space from Tom Griffiths through Hollywood. The quick flick to the right. Tom Griffiths going to battle it as hard as he possibly can. But Daniel Hunt on the outside run quickly swings the advantage to the way through the Craner curves. Dipping their way down the hill. The roller coaster of Donington Park. But very quickly Tom Griffiths to the inside of the old hairpin. Still gets given the space. Opens the steering up. But continuing to go side by side. 2 championship protagonists on the final lap here in Donington.
Yeah, they go down into McLean's now. It is Daniel Hunt with Griffiths in front. Hunt's going to go and take the lead here. Barry's in the back. He is a lap down. Don't worry. He's not all of a sudden... Well, he's just done that as well. So unfortunately for Mick Barry. But Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths fighting out round Coppice now. Griffiths is looking for the inside line. He's got to run out on Dan Hunt. Is Hunt going to be able to get the exit out? He slots in behind him. It's going to be a final lunge down into the chicane. Dan Hunt is going to try it. He's going to go on the outside line now. Griffiths is on the inside. Hunt's going to try and send it around the outside. Is he going to be able to get a run out down to the line? Oh, he's chuffed there the last corner. Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths is going to come over the line. Dan Hunt is going to drop all the way down. And it's gone all the way. He's lost a bunch of positions down into 10th place for Dan Hunt. But Tom Griffiths gets the victory here this evening. And Dan Hunt is down in 10th. Absolutely stunning end to the race here with that one. Well, all right, I'll give you that.
Boom. There we go. I've taken it. Well, I haven't yet. Still got race 4 left to go. But... well, we didn't have any score. It was a no score for race 1, a no score for race 2. Back in for race 3. I know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Just about me and James Parfitt. I honestly, I love this because it's the only time we've actually really had much of a rivalry is when we're actually trying to predict what's going to happen, which is so difficult in races like these. But race 4 coming up. Yeah, I can't wait. It's been stellar.
It's Tom Griffiths out in front there as well, takes it on the final corner. PVG in second, Steve Everett third, Martin Sampson fourth, Darrell Wright fifth, Jamie Ayres sixth, John Sylvester seventh, Ewan Bramer eighth, Arnold Chagnon in ninth, Dan Hunt down in 10th. He put it all on the line. That's all we can say. He did it all. It was 0 to 0 in the last one, and it was 0 for Dan Hunt down in 10th. Charles Kellerman 11th, Miles Owens 12th, Ralph Cullinan 13th, Jordan Syrat rounds out the podium for the AMs there with Andy Littler, Sir Alan Toon and Mick Barry. And well, I think you can just about say that was another absolute epic ending here as well as we go once more into a brief little 5-minute warm-up before we go into race 4. Are you trying to upset me, Zach? Well, I can't really say he is. Unfortunately,
I've got some voodoo powers.
Yeah, well, so he thinks. Me and you just lost.
Trust me.
What? Never trust a man that says trust me.
Yeah, no. I've got to say, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what is there to say. I'm just the most humble man. That I'm just that good. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's one victory. It's one very lucky prediction, but Tom Griffiths very much deserved it, which I think after last week, we saw him quite frustrated how it went for him and how he lost the championship lead. I think today he come in a new man and was like, you know what? If I don't leave Donington Park with the championship lead, it's just championship over. And he's come in with that mentality and he's done such a brilliant job. So fair play to Tom Griffiths. And that's why I've got faith in him. It's all about faith. It's all about loyalty. Unfortunately, that same loyalty didn't quite work for Phil.
No, clearly not. Phil's there. Do you want to come and find you? Watch out, Zach. He's on his way. There as well.
I'm scared.
Oh, you'll be all right. I don't think he doesn't even know remotely where to look. It'll be fine, I promise you. So there we go. 2 minutes on the clock on the warm-up before we go into the final race of the evening here for the UK Sim Racers. And what an absolute epic evening of racing it's been. We have witnessed some incredible racing, 0 to 0 in the last corner, some offs that were completely unexpected, and once more they've done an absolute stellar job, so well done to them.
Yeah. I'm so proud of everyone involved today because they've done awesome stuff. And East Anglia is not that big. Yeah, that's fair enough. He knows the general location, which I think is even more scary.
Well, you didn't make it, quiet information that you lived in Norfolk.
Yeah, well, that's true.
If you're going to tell...
I don't know why that is. Why would I be proud of where I live? Yeah.
Mate, I'm not. I don't even get fibre optic, so...
That's fair enough.
But you will tell people. What do you expect?
That's true, yeah. That's what... Should have listened in the online safety class in I was about to say elementary school then. I've never hated myself more. In primary school, where we're like, yeah, don't tell strangers where you live on the internet. And what have I done? Up the Norfolk boys. Cheers, Callum Island.
Callum, help him out. Phil's on his way to Zach's house. He needs some backup. Callum, please go to Zach's house and support him. Make sure Phil don't get there. I mean, Phil will just... Well, I don't know. I feel it might be our last conversation. Phil, actually, do me a favour. Don't do anything yet, mate. I'm going away next week, and I need him for next week. So do it the week after, all right? When I'm back.
I feel so needed. That I've felt so... Yeah, cheers, James. Appreciate that, mate. That was...
Well, what else am I going to do? If you go and cark it because Phil's put you under the patio, I'm going to be knackered for going away on holiday. So, Phil, don't do it. Not yet. I want a holiday. I need a break, Phil. I've been at this now for about 18 months, and I've not stopped once. So, please, don't do it just yet. Wait till after next week, after round 11. All right? Well, it's Silverstone National next week. You should have a good one there with Dan.
I'm looking forward to it. I like Dan. He's good to commentate with. He's a lovely lad as well. I've only done it like once or twice, and it's always been for the peck endurance stuff. But I do enjoy commentating with him. He's nice. And probably a lot. I don't know. Should I be nice? Should I welcome him to the UK Sim Racers, or should I just straight out slate him? I don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll see. We'll test the water a bit. We'll see how he gets on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's a nice break from you, I guess. A well needed one, I suppose. Yeah,
it is. I do need a break from you. You're right. Okay, so Phil's going to give you a state of execution, and then Callum says, I've got you. I'm in Norfolk. I'm in Norwich. So there we go. I don't know where you are, but if you're in Norwich, he's got your back.
I'm not going to say.
Mick Barry is in first place. Alan Toon second. Andy Littler third. Jordan Syret will be fourth. Ralph Cullen fifth. Miles Owen sixth. Charles Kellerman seventh. Dan on eighth. Arnold Saunier ninth. Ewan Bramer 10th. Sylvester 11th. And Ayres down in 12th place. And from that right, Sampson, Hefford, Van Gaal and Griffiths. Pick your winner, quick.
Owens.
Oh.
No, Hunt. Sorry.
I'll go Owens. Owens is going to win for me. Hunt for Zach. Here we go. We're going to be underway very, very shortly. So Zach's got Hunt. I've got Owens. And I'm feeling confident about this one. Otherwise, I'm lost. I can't be dealing with that. No. Not a good idea.
You're never living it down, mate. Absolutely not.
I know. It's going to be horrendous. But the lights are going to be... Oh, Mick Barry's jumped the start. You're going to be in there, Mick, I'm afraid. That could be a drive-through before you even got anywhere. Mick Barry out in front, Sir Alan Toon second, Annie Littler third as well. And then Jordan Syret, it is an AM, 1, 2, 3, 4 currently at the moment. And Alan Toon has just lost a place to Andy Littler. Mick Barry out in front, but I think Mick might have a jump start there because he did and was clearly moving. And Ewan Bramer's up on the gravel. Unfortunately for him, PVG's managed to get through. Tom Griffiths is up 3. And in 14th place currently, Darryl Wright. Jamie Ayres has dropped down as well. Whoa! Was Jordan Cyrus spinning and doing a 360. It was, unfortunately for him as well. He's now off, and it is, no, it wasn't. It's not going to be because Mick Barry's off. Nobody wants to lead currently at the moment with Andy Littler there as well. Alan Toon hitting the brakes, not as a hit. Currently, the returning Mick Barry and Ralph Cullinan in second place currently at the moment. Welcome to race 4, Zach.
Yep, hello and welcome everyone. Very chaotic start, as we've always come to expect. Just look at that shot. That tells you everything you need to know. Ralph Cullinan to the race lead ahead of Andy Littler. Daniel Hunt up to P3 already, up 5 places and ahead of Miles Owens. Daniel Hunt on a charge. He is searching for that victory. Better late than never. Already on the opening lap, he's eyeing up second place. Inside line relative to the AM leader of Andy Littler through the final chicane. Daniel Hunt into second place. The only thing that stands between him and the race lead is Ralph Cullinan. And already he's trying to dispatch of him quite quickly on the opening lap.
Yeah, Miles Owens is trying to go around the outside of Andy Littler as well. And there's backballs further back with Ayres and Griffiths. Griffiths is up 8 places, mind you, and is sitting in 9th. Owens has gone through. He's dived the inside of Ralph Cullinan. He's going to make contact just. Cullinan's going to hold it for second place there. Kellerman is in the pits. Charles Kellerman is in the pits, but it is Daniel Hunt, Ralph Cullinan, Miles Owens, Andy Littler and Arnold Chagnon. Barry's in down there in 12th place. Sampson's in the middle on the optical red as they go behind the trees. Not an ideal shot as he's just managed to hang on from Jamie Ayres, and it is Chagnon just gone past Littler for the lead of the AMs with Hepburn in the middle as well, sending it 3 wide up the hill. Not an ideal manoeuvre. Miles Owens has got Dan Hunt in his sights now. Here we go, the battle of the commentators are at the front of the field. It's Dan Hunt, it's Miles Owens, it's Ralph Cullinan. Who's going to get it here, Zach? Time will only tell.
Yeah, and to be specific, the time is about 13.5 minutes between 2 brilliant drivers, the championship leader and the underdog of Miles Owens. He's been there all season long, there or thereabouts, but more so now he's looking in his mirrors, trying to keep Ralph Cullinan at bay, more so than trying to catch Daniel Hunt, and this is dangerous territory. Daniel Hunt is the last driver on this field you want to let get away.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going down into turn 1. Owens there as well. Hunt does the fastest lap on a 1:18.547. Arnold Chagnon is looking at trying to make moves further back as well. Looks like PVG has had an incident that has dropped all the way down the order with Mick Barry. I'm not quite sure if they had a coming together together. Nope, probably not the ideal most there as well. What happened here? Oh, there was contact with Barry and also PVG. Barry's got up too hot into the hairpin, I think. Yes. Made contact and around, both of them have gone. So there we go. Unfortunately, Ralph Cullinan has gone down the order. That's why he's in the barrier, nose deep. Martin Sampson as well. There was probably contact between the two of them, unfortunately. And them 2 guys have gone off as well. Mick Barry, Ralph Cullinan's into the pits. PVG has just gone past Martin Sampson. Hunt has got about 1.7 seconds at the moment. And here's what happened to Sampson. He's already round at that point. I wonder if he went round in the mix with Ralph Cullinan. It doesn't look like it. Looks like he's done this all on his own. He has. Here comes Cullinan, was helped.
Wow, that was scary. That made me jump up in my seat, that did. I was quite, yeah, wow, okay. Ralph Cullinan, again, the thing with Ralph Cullinan, he's a similar driver to Pete Van Gool in the sense that what we were saying is that he's got everything he needs. He just needs to do it and stir it all together in a nice little package and just go out there and do it. His pace is brilliant. On his day, his consistency is brilliant. Jamie Ayres trying to be as brilliant as Steve Efford and move his way ahead of his Momo teammate. It's actually been, in all fairness, a good day for Momo so far and quite consistent points all. But yeah, I don't know. I want to see something from Ralph Cullinan in the final couple of weeks because he's there. His potential is so vast, but he hasn't really quite been able to extract that raw talent quite yet. So yeah, unfortunately, it's another race ended in the pit lane. But well, it's race 4. It's carnage. It's chaos, and sometimes it doesn't take any prisoners.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't there as well. And unfortunately, it's not the first time Hepford's had a coming together this evening, though, is it? So they have been involved in their own little bits of tat-tat-tat this evening as the Momos. And obviously Cullinan as well. So, you know, yeah, I'm sure people will be talking and seeing what goes on after here as well. But Griffiths is now sitting in 5th place, currently up 12 places with Steve Hepford up 12. Dan Hunt as well. Miles Owens out in first and second place. It looks like Sir Alan Toon has unfortunately had an incident and has dropped all the way back down into 15th. But it is this battle here. Hefford, Owens, Ayres, Griffiths are your front, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 here on track. Can anyone catch Hunt? What do we reckon?
Well, if they're going to do it, they've got to start now. Time is not on their side. Yes, we're not even halfway through the race as of yet, but a 1.8 second gap for tonight's standards, that is like winning the race by a country mile. 1.8 seconds, no slipstream or anything. They need to buck up their ideas, and a nice little Tokyo drift there through McLean's is definitely looks amazing, but not quite fast. Steve Hefford up the climb towards Coppice, inside line between him and Jamie Ayres. The outside line goes that way. Tom Griffiths trying to get the up and under. He's mighty through this sequence of the circuit. He gets the run, gets the slipstream off Jamie Ayres as well, who might move off to try and cover off his teammate in terms of the slipstream. That's not going to quite be the case. Griffiths finds his way through into fourth, might be eyeing up third. Late on the brakes from Steve Hefford, though, sends the move. Ayres off as well. Oh, wow. And that, I think, is the nail in the coffin for Daniel Hunt winning this race.
Yeah, Jamie Ayres there, a spectacular slide. Tried to hold it, couldn't, and has now gone off track. Can Hefford hold up Griffiths? Can Sylvester make his way through as well? It is Sylvester, Griffiths, Hefford, Owens and Hunt. Owens has got to try and close some gap over Hunt. I think if he doesn't, it's going to be a Hunt victory here. And one that, well, it's been well deserved, I'll give you that. Daniel Hunt, you know, from the very beginning, up 7 places, making his way through. Sylvester's trying to run around the outside of the old hairpin, and Tom Griffiths is going to look at trying to get that cut back up the hill currently at the moment. Nothing doing currently here through the old hairpin as they go on the run into McLean's now, the right-hander. Can Sylvester get through? There goes Hunt, there goes Owens, there goes Hefford, there's Griffiths, and there is Sylvester once more as well. Ewan Bramer tucked up behind Jamie Ayres as well. We saw do a mighty, well, I don't know what we can call it, slide off in the opposite direction, I suppose, from him, and into that final chicane as well. Full lock the other way, full power to try and get it to turn, and it didn't go anywhere, unfortunately, for Jamie Ayres. But Tom Griffiths is trying to get away from Sylvester. Griffiths up 13, Hefford up 12, Sylvester up 6, and Owens up 4, with Hunt up 7. What an incredible start for some of these guys, and now we're just near enough coming up to the halfway point here, Zach, and it looks like really Hunt should wrap this up.
He should, yeah. Everything is nice and wrapped up with sparkles and ribbon and nice wrapping paper for Daniel Hunt in terms of this race. It's been handed to him on a silver platter. All he has to do is chow down and munch in his awesome victory display. Again, can't get complacent. A circuit like this will spit you out if you give it the chance. But Daniel Hunt, we've not really seen anything in terms of driving mistakes. He's not gone off the road. He's not spun the car or anything like that. We've not seen anything like that from him. But side by side, Steve Hefford and Miles Owens. Through McLean's, the Momo car gets himself ahead, but Miles Owens with the up and under, the climb up the hill, the better run is going to help that MX5, his little engine, get up over the crest through Coppice, side by side as they run their way through. Hefford the long way round. He's got to keep that foot planted though to maintain the momentum. He's done exactly that. However, in about a kilometre's time, it is going to give him the outside line through the final chicane. Has Owens got the measure? Tom Griffiths and John Sylvester looking menacing. The overlap is there, not quite enough for Miles Owens to seal the deal for second place, but this fight is ongoing, and each lap that goes by is just a higher likelihood that Hunt is going to run away with it.
Hefford did get a bit of a better run out. They're going to be 2 by 2 going down into the first corner. Owens there on the outside, Griffiths is on the inside. Sylvester's trying to follow Griffiths through over his teammate, of course, as these guys go out now through Hollywood, dropping down into the crane of curves. They will plummet down the hill. There they go, into the left, coming now back into the old hairpin. And it is Griffiths with Owens with Sylvester right behind them currently at the moment as they're going to push him up the hill. Owens has moved out. He's taken a long way round. I'm not sure that would have been ideal. It's either that or he's moved over and allowed Sylvester through to go after Tom Griffiths here. I think that looked like what the plan was.
Yeah, it did look like that was quite coordinated, but again, they know better than we do. We can only make assumptions based on that. All I do know is that, just look at this, the respect given, and unfortunately for the Platinum boys, they're falling back behind 4th and 5th. Hefford is dealing with this race so well, it must be said. He is driving with such a wise head on his shoulders. Same to Griffiths, to be fair. it's been near enough a perfect evening in terms of what he can ask for with the reverse grids and how difficult it can be at times around Donington. The win, the P5, I think, in race 2, then now sitting in a podium place, maybe even more in race 4, and obviously the race win in race 3. Side by side, Tom Griffiths going for more 3 for P3. It's John Sylvester on the outside. He's got beach there and has to tuck into situ. Tom Griffiths is, I have to say, I know Daniel Hunt is running away with things right now, but my drive of the evening has to be this man right here. He has taken this championship fight with 2 hands and saying, I am not wasting a single race or a single opportunity to get points.
Yeah, definitely is absolutely flying at the moment here, and Griffiths is doing an absolute stellar job. Mr. Milam, I have put their Discord in the YouTube chat. You can join in, get involved in the Discord, have a chat to the guys as well, see what the situation is for next season. They have got 2 races left, Silverstone National and Barcelona National, and have a chat to them as well. Thank you, darling. No worries. Darling.
He's flirting with you there, mate.
Oh no.
You need to show the ring on your finger.
I have. Oh. I'll have to take a picture and post it in the Discord. Sorry, Callum, I'm taken. As well, BJ, welcome in, sir. Hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining us. 3 minutes remaining here, and it is the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and also Bramer and Ayres are still battling behind them as well. You just see them in the back end of your picture. Here they come now. Ewan Bramer is leading Jamie Ayres. Chagnon still leading the AMs with right behind him, and that's not right. Never mind. I know what I'm trying to say. You get what I mean? Right behind him. Get it? Never mind. Right.
Funny, yeah, awesome. Moving on, yeah.
Nice.
Sorted, yeah, mate. Honestly, yeah. The puns are an interesting one. We always try and fit them in, but not oftentimes do they work too well, do they?
No. But to be fair, that was always going to be a difficult one to try and get there as well, because you have got right behind Chagnon, so it's kind of, it works. I know what I'm trying to say.
In your head, it makes sense, and that's all that matters, James.
Well, it does actually, to be fair. Yes, it is.
Who cares? It's your company, mate. If they don't like it, they can just get rid of them.
Exactly. I'm sure they won't, though, because we are back next season, so I'd like to point out that one as well. But once more here, so there we go. But Steve Evans, Tom Griffiths, John Sylvester and Miles Owens fighting away. Still, as they're going to be having one more lap to go. Dan Hunt is still out in front. That's it, 2 laps, penultimate lap here for these guys. What's going to happen?
Ascend, carnage, chaos, a 4-way fight. I don't know. I think it can go any way. We could see Hefford finish second. We could see Owen carve his way through. We could see all 4 of them into a barrier. I honestly couldn't tell you. The predictions today have been all over the shop. But yeah, a lap and a half-ish left to go of race number 4 of the evening. What an evening it has been. But Steve Hefford, again, he's defended so far now. What's to say that's going to change in the final moments?
Yeah, well, we're going to have to see how he gets on, but he has got Tom Griffiths, as you say, pretty much the driver of the evening. He's done an absolutely stellar job, has Tom, so I'll give him that. You know, there's no shadow of a doubt. He's been absolutely outstanding. Ayres has cleared Bramer. Bramer's 1.5 seconds back from him. Van Gaal is about 8 tenths away from Martin Sampson and closing, but it is going to be Daniel Hunt for the final lap of the race here. And it is going to be a job done for him, I think. He's done an absolutely stellar job. As we're looking on the left-hand side, is Barney going to be waving tonight? He took a night off the other night, did Barney? Didn't really show his face, but there he is, waving frantically as we go across the final lap of the race. And it is still Steve Hefford hanging on from Tom Griffiths. Only just Griffiths is trying to make the move into Redgate. Nothing doing this time around, and it's still Griffiths again. Is he going to dive up the inside of Redgate round turn 1? He's going to have it down, drop down in through Hollywood they go. Down the right-hander, plunging into the crane of curves. And it is Griffiths on the left-hand side. Is he going to be in the inside for the old hairpin? Oh, it is. It's still holding it up the hill. Griffiths and Hefford. Griffiths slots back in again, but here comes Sylvester. What an absolutely barnstorming run from John Sylvester up the hill. He's going to try going around the outside of McLean's over Griffiths. Is this going to work for Sylvester? Not this time doing, as we're coming down now. Dan Hunt coming through Coppice for the final time this evening.
Indeed so. He's drove drove so brilliantly all evening long, and today he wrapped it up very nicely. A couple of corners left to go, but what's going to be in the fight for second? Hefford, Griffiths, Sylvester, Owens, who knows? But this man's on top.
Yeah, Dan Hunt is going to come across the line and take the victory here. Steve Hefford is going to hold on, I think, to second place with Tom Griffiths behind, with John Sylvester, with Miles Owens. It's a straight run down. It is Hefford, Griffiths, Sylvester, Owens. And it was Dan Hunt for your victory. An absolutely stellar job there from them two. It looks like Arnold Chonier is going to come across the line in the AMS. Chonier with his third victory this evening. Darrell Wright had one. And then he's also now got 3 podiums, or 2 podiums, I should say. Martin Sampson and Pete Van Gaal. Looks like PVG did get Sampson there as well. So an absolutely stellar job from him. And Andy Littler rounds out the podium in the AMS and takes it there as well. So it was a 1-2-3 for Chonier, Wright, Littler, Hunt, Hefford and Griffiths. So good job. And I've lost another one. 2-0 on the evening, young Zachary.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
You got anything to say, or you just?
What am I supposed to say to that?
Bravo, well done,
Well
employee
done.
of the month.
Employee of the month. What am I, Tesco's?
Yeah, actually.
Since when?
Since I said so.
Oh, okay. Well, there are the results of race 4. Dan Hunt is in first, Steve Hefford second, Tom Griffiths third, John Sylvester fourth, Miles Owens fifth, Jamie Ayres sixth, Ewan Bramer seventh, Arnold Chonier eighth, Darrell Wright ninth, Pete Van Gaal 10th, Martin Sampson 11th, Andy Littler 12th, Charles Kellerman 13th, Jordan Syret 14th, Sir Alan Toon 15th, Ralph Cullinan is 16th with Mick Barry down in 17th place. So there we go. We have got the newlywed. That is Mick Barry's. Quite a frantic weekend as Mick this weekend, tying a knot to his lovely wife, of course. And then coming racing on a Tuesday. Are you struggling, Mick, from the weekend there, sir?
Definitely. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How can I sum up your evening, Mick?
Yeah, it was disastrous. I must admit, though, I had a bit of pace. You know, I was behind Ralph and I forget who it was that span in front of me, but unfortunately I hit the grass. And then again in the last race, I felt really comfortable, and obviously I took the apex and I felt I was in the right, but myself and Peter Van Gaal were next to each other, so we sort of both span out. But it wasn't about the racing tonight, it was about catching up with the lads.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a busy weekend, like I say, with the wedding. You know, we had 3 guys turn up from UkSimracers. We had Alan, we had Carl, and we had Craig. And if you don't mind, just a moment, Alan, everybody fell in love with Alan. It was amazing. You know, my cousin was ready to divorce her husband and run away with Alan. You know, the family loved him. Then there was Carl. Carl was kept close to the kitchen because he loves the food. But unfortunately, there was 2 gentlemen from Secret Service there on the door to stop him.
Oh,
then there
okay.
was then there was Craig. Have you met Craig at all?
In real life, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I've not had the pleasure.
No. It's all false, mate. It's all false. He wears a toupee. He's got 2 moles on his face. One of them looks like the armpit of a German prostitute.
Mick,
He's got
keep
a
it
hump
clean. Keep it clean.
He's got a hump on his back, like looks like a Second World War German helmet, and one leg's short than the other, so it looks like he's got a boot that basically rollers are on. But apart from that, yeah, it was a pleasant day. We had 2 Spitfires fly over during the photographs. So being an ex-RAF man, yeah, it was an awesome day, mate. On a serious note, awesome day. And it was lovely to share it with the UkSimracers.
Well, I've had to report my post office, Mick, because apparently they stole my invitation.
Did they?
Yeah, right thieves they were. They nipped my invitation,
Yeah,
so I didn't even see one come through the post. But what can you do about that? Look, Mick, it's been
You know what, mate? It was exactly the same. I didn't get my invitation from King Charles either, so I know how you feel.
Yeah, what a rascal. But look, Mick,
You
it's
know,
been a
being
pleasure.
being an ex-veteran, I expected an invitation.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, mate, neither of us did. But there we go. We're clearly not on his radar. But Mick, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you this evening. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Just all the guys at UkSimracers, the 3 guys that joined us, and all the messages I've received. You know, I just wanted to come in and say thank you.
No
the
worries.
stream's great. The lads are wonderful. You know what? You couldn't ask for a better family, could you?
No, definitely not. But thank you, Mick.
So, God bless and thank you all.
Take care, Mick, and we'll catch up with you soon.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Sorry again if anybody took offence to Mick's analogy of Craig Jones. I'm not quite sure I would have called him that, but there we go. Sum it up for us, Zach. I don't really know what to say about that.
I want to say that Mick Barry is a lovely man. I've never heard him talk. He sounds like such a wholesome person. That honestly, that put a smile on my face. Not only was the comment incredibly hilarious, but just how he presents himself, how grateful he is, how lovely he is with the UkSimracers. It just shows that the atmosphere here is second to none. It's not something that many places can boast, particularly the higher up you get in esports. It's such a nice community-run thing. Everyone loves each other. The fact he got them to go to his wedding as well, I do love that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that you see, and it's just heartwarming. But yeah, here at Donington Park, that also was amazing. All 4 races had action from start to finish. Well-deserved race winners. Tom Griffiths on top. I mean, in terms of a championship charge, he certainly knows how to make a statement.
Yeah, it definitely does. But there we go, guys. That rounds out tonight's racing. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us. Phil, Callum, VJ as well. Thank you so much. RS98 as well for coming in. Much love to you. Mike Boosson for popping in earlier on with Toxic Munchkin and Aaron Hobson. Thank you again, guys, as well. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells, give the video a big old thumbs up because that would be absolutely incredible. Darryl Wright's put he never thanked the wife. This is also true. He didn't thank his wife, but I don't know if his wife watches, so there we go. Aaron with funny ads. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure I would have come on air and described somebody as a German lady of the night, shall we say. So there we go. Right, guys, you all take care. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll all be back tomorrow as we've got a lot going on tomorrow night on the JPB YouTube channel if you're a night owl, of course. Nothing in the UK, but we have got the Simability at 1:45, the LSRL F1 from Silverstone, American Sim Racing and the Beer League is all taking place between 1:45 and 1:45 in the morning. So 4 races going out. If you're a bit of a night owl, you can stay up and watch. And then we've got the TSRC GT3 Round 5 with our very own Zach and Kelsey as well, and then a Radical Sim Racing on Thursday evening with myself and Ewan O'Leary. But that rounds out tonight's racing, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and as always, take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.